Good morning. I'm going to make a brief statement, and then my press secretary, Betsy Hart, will pass out to the news media that's here a packet. Let me start by telling you that Ron Lewis has forgotten where he came from, and Ron Lewis has lost his way. When this campaign started, Ron Lewis held a press conference to ask that I not make an issue of his military service. He told the voters we should debate real issues. Since then, he has launched a vicious and baseless attack on my military service while avoiding every debate where these issues could actually be discussed. I have appeared at 7 debates to discuss the things that really matter in the lives of the voters who will decide this election. That's the war in Iraq, and health care, and education, to name a few. I have appeared alone at each of these debates. Lewis asked that I disclose my military records. Well, here they are. They're in the packet. And I'm proud of every page of that military record. I'm proud of the sacrifices made by my wife. And I'm proud of the sacrifices made by my 4 daughters. And I'm thankful for the opportunity that I had to lead some of the finest soldiers that this nation has ever produced. A military career is not an easy life. I will never forget coming home from Vietnam in 1970 and having people spit on me and my fellow soldiers as we walked through San Francisco. 36 years later, a member of Congress has the audacity to spit on me again. Ron Lewis has looked at decisions that I made as an officer and a leader and declared that I am not fit to serve in Congress. We have a Congress plagued by partisanship, corruption, and scandal, so I'm not sure what it means to be fit to serve in this Congress. I do know what it means to be fit to serve in the Army. It means that your honesty and integrity are continuously evaluated and you must pass each test. The test for Ron Lewis is now, and he has failed. He failed with this vicious and baseless attack ad. The ad shows his true character. An independent evaluation of this ad by the University of Pennsylvania at their website called factcheck.org has this to say about that ad. And I quote, "Evidence of misconduct by Weaver in this matter isn't thin, it's non-existent. The only disgraceful conduct we see here is the ad itself." Let me repeat that one more time. Evidence of misconduct by Weaver in this matter isn't thin, it's non-existent. The only disgraceful conduct we see here is the ad itself. If Ron wants to keep talking about military service, he should put his own military records on the table. And they should include his selective service records from 1964 to 1972, and he should explain the deferments that he received that kept him out of Vietnam during a period of time when over 50,000 of our young men died in that conflict. If he wants to spit on my service, he should have the courage to face me in public. If he cannot face me in public, then he should pull this disgraceful campaign ad and move on to issues that people care about. It is hard not to raise questions about courage in this campaign, but let me be clear. When I say Ron Lewis lacks courage, I'm not talking about his 90 days of military service. I'm talking about his unwillingness to face me or the voters in any public forum. In one of those forums, we could talk about the absence of courage in this Congress. We could talk about a Congress that cares more about partisanship and re-election and power than about what happens to our people. Let's talk about the courage of our men and women who serve in harm's way and what it really means to support our troops. Let's talk about the courage of our Guard and Reserve units, whom we asked to deploy multiple times without even having the same benefits as the active force. Let's talk about the support, his support to stay the course, which is not a course at all, only a failure to plan and a failure to ask anyone to answer for the mistakes in intelligence and strategy. Let's talk about the courage it takes to try to live or raise a family on minimum wage. Let's talk about the service and courage of teachers who try to meet the requirements of the unfunded No Child Left Behind Act. Let's talk about our teachers being cheated out of their Social Security benefits by the Social Security Windfall Act. Ron Lewis has forgotten where he came from. He has forgotten the people he represents. He has forgotten the issues that affect their lives. He has made this campaign personal. This election is not about the ad agencies, and it's not about the cheap shots. It's about putting the country back on the right course. It's about being a two-party system again, and it's about holding government accountable not to the people in power, but to the people it serves. We must change this Congress now, and the only way to change this Congress is to change the people that we send there.